I'm Christian Smeltzer.
Hi, I'm Gary Elder.
And we built our home with McKenzie in 2024.
I think it was like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. There was a tour of 3 homes, townhomes across the street. And we came up and toured those. And those homes stayed in our mind when we actually were doing the signing on the contract. John wanted to meet with us. It just was a really pleasant interaction. And through the process of building, we ran into John several times, and every interaction was a really pleasant experience. Originally, this unit had the pocket doors from the hallway, and we didn't care for that. We wanted to have a large opening from the dining space, and they absolutely agreed to it. There was no pushback whatsoever. And I also had an idea of how I wanted cabinets in that room, bookcases. And again, all I had to do was come up with a simple sketch, and they were able to take that sketch and make it a reality.
The vendors, I mean, they were just great, particularly like the cabinet company. We added a lot of cabinets and a lot of things that were maybe a little bit different. They were able to answer any of the questions that we had, work through some of the little details that maybe they didn't fully understand our vision, but they were able to make a beautiful product. It already got in our head what was going to happen in the primary closet. It was perfect. They were able to adjust on the fly. They were able to get the same hardware in the primary closet because there are actually 2 different vendors. The one vendor got the hardware to the other vendor, and it just worked out really perfectly. But I really like the knurled handles on all of our cabinets.
With a stone company, we realized that the stone that we originally picked out for the fireplace wasn't tall enough to be able to create the match the way we wanted. And so they were great to work with us right then, and we were able to come up with this particular installation, and it exceeded our dreams. It truly feels like a piece of art.
We originally there was an electric fireplace that was built in here in the living room, and we're like, what if we come up with a different solution that got real fire? We were able to work with the fireplace vendor, and they were able to come up with a solution. They didn't normally work with this company that provided the denatured alcohol fireplace, but they were able to become a vendor for that fireplace company, and now we have a denatured alcohol fireplace.
We wanted to see a lot of selections, and I never got the feeling from the vendors that they were getting fatigued by us. They were willing to spend the time and make sure that we were actually happy with the selections that we were making. They were willing to spend the time with us necessary to make sure that we were satisfied. We've not heard no. They've never told us no on a change. They ask, are you sure you want to do that? And then we talk through it, but they were willing to change anything that we came up with. The construction team has been very open to having emails and text messages sent whenever we would see something that we had a little bit of a concern about. We were able to send an email or a text, and we would immediately get a response and a resolution to the issue. We had so much communication during construction that when it came down to punch list, it felt like there was nothing there to punch. All of the items had been resolved prior to the punch list.